in this time they have facing some problem, financing, supporting. They all now after the state left them and the allied left them, no more support. Then they depending on themselves. They depending on the investment of Sheikh bin Laden only. But they still planning to some action all over the world, especially in Europe, especially in the United States. But the action around the area is very small now. It's very limited now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Mohammed Abdel Khaliq Qashqoush, military expert and strategy analyst. Mr. Mohammed, thank you very much for joining us on tonight's Daily Debate. Now, Mr. Alfy, would you agree with now the situation with Al-Qaeda? They're actually relying on their own finances and they're relying on their own support. Do you think that this is true, and how far do you think they'll go on their own?
Regarding Al-Qaeda rely on themselves or finance themselves, that is what they are telling, what is the Western countries saving for the international media. But if we will believe that they are financing themselves, who's saving the logistic support for them? We'll take an example. And 9/11, to hit the many places, even the Pentagon,
yes,
to enter to the States. Who can believe that? How they can create operation like this inside United States? As you know, of course, what is the technology there? How they can go through without logistic support? Okay, we will believe now they are financing themselves, but how they can go in?
Yes.
How? United States is not. We are not talking about a normal country. We are talking about the superpower country, and they have the know-how of most of military and technology fields in the world. Who's saving the logistic support? Bin Laden? He's saving. No one now in the world or in our area can believe that Bin Laden escaping in the mountains in Afghanistan. The actual now, Bin Laden in any safe house for any intelligence agency, and they are using him.
Yes.
I will remind all, and myself also, before any explosion, you will find Bin Laden via some channels say we are against the states, we will do, and then the explosion in the second or third day. It coming by occasion? No. They are preparing him to give this statement to serve them interests. Had to come. In 2005, the French intelligence agency was informing the U.S. Leader in Afghanistan that we are many 20 to 30 meters between us and the location of Bin Laden. We will arrest him. They order them, the US leader order them to go back to the station.
Yes.
Because they need Bin Laden to be free, to save the reasons, and to save the logistic support for Al-Qaeda members, to create a case of conflicts inside many countries. And we will talk later also, and I will remind our viewers that here from Nile TV, the financial situation is putting Europe and the States to facilitate the conflicts in the Middle East and Africa, to save the reasons, or to create the reason for military intervention in many places, or to put the Middle East and African countries under the pressure to lead the internal affairs of these countries, to serve the financial situation in them countries.
Mr. Alfy, now Obama's counter-terrorism advisor, John Brennan, he announced recently that the Yemen-based Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula actually creates and is a source of more threat and danger to the United States than Al-Qaeda based in Afghanistan. Do you think that we will witness some sort of a military shift from one place to another within the Arabian Peninsula?
I will return 1 month ago, before we'll talk about Al-Qaeda in Yemen, 1 month ago, one British cabinet member, he said, we will agree to take to go to military intervention in South Yemen. That's a British cabinet member. That is mean they are thinking to create a case of reoccupation to the old colonies. Also, the South Yemen, Aden was under the British occupation. So they are creating the situation to go to military intervention. And why now Al-Qaeda in Yemen and the Arabian Peninsula? Because they need this area. So they save the logistic support for those people to be here to serve them interests. They are going to create a case of separation between North Yemen and South again, and they are playing the same game with Saudi Arabia. And also the goals, they are reaching the goals now in Sudan, the separation, the elections for the separation in the next days in Sudan. And now they would like to divide Sudan. Darfur to be, as you know, Darfur is 1 million kilometer. Yes, and with a great wheel of resource to be a separate country. And the North Sudan to be a separate country, East Sudan separate countries, South separate countries. That is the situation. They are working on it more than 30 years ago. Okay, and now it's time to go to divide most of the Arab countries, and they are playing the same game. In Morocco, they now the last statement of Italian Foreign Minister Franco Frattini. He's talking about the situation in the world or in the Islamic countries, that the Islamic countries is not protecting the minorities. He talked about the Christian minorities, and he said yesterday, Italy will not watch forever. She will take an actions. The European community must take an actions against these countries, and that is serve the city now. Spain is make an occupation for 2 Moroccan cities, Ceuta and Melilla, and supporting the old colonies in South Morocco, in Polisario area. And
well, Mr. Alfy, do you think that maybe the US and the European community, do you think that they will have or should have a different approach or a different attitude towards Al-Qaeda, keeping in mind Al-Qaeda's hidden alliance with Iran, which is now a nuclear superpower?
US and European countries, we should tell our viewers that they are creating plans for the next 50 years. And this, the plans to divide the area and to control the wheel of resources of the area, of this area, planned in 1974, after our war in 1973. So now they would like to keep Al-Qaeda as it is, to let all the people get frightened and scared from Al-Qaeda, and because Al-Qaeda achieving the great interest of these countries, and they have the power to save the facilities and logistic support for Qaeda to go through. And regarding the Iran, Iran is an old country. And they are trying to create ideas about Iran is very dangerous at the area and very dangerous at the GCC countries, the Gulf countries. No one can in GCC countries can believe that. It was very dangerous during the war between Iraq and Iran. But now, Iran is taken, Iran is a problem of Iran now with the States and Europe, because Iran create the own agenda of Iran. And Iran go out of the Iranian borders to create kind of investment in South America.
Yes.
And that is the rear garden of the states. And that is the US people or the US administration think that is it's a forbidden steps for Iran.
Yes.
And the second problem of Iran with the Western countries, that Iran following the Chinese steps in Africa to achieve to achieve progress in the international relations, to get if there is problems for Iran with UN and Security Council, to get the votes of those people. But the problem also, the third problem of Iran, it's playing in Hamas with the Hamas organization in Gaza, and with Hezbollah in south of Lebanon. And all these files, it was also under the control of CIA and the Mossad, and they will not allow to Hamas to play in this area, because also they trying to send China out of this area because of them own plans.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this topic of tonight's daily debate. Once again, I would like to thank very much Mr. Mohammed Alfy, our political analyst. Mr. Alfy, thank you very much for joining us on tonight's daily debate.
Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the second topic with Angie Meher tonight regarding the oil prices hiking. Let's watch this report and we'll be back with Angie.